Hey you guys, Merry Christmas! I wanted to take you on a tour of my Christmas home. So, for those of you who are new here, y'all, this is the house that I grew up in. This is where I celebrated every Christmas for as long as I can remember. Just around the corner, there's a set of stairs, and on those stairs is where I sat and waited for Santa Claus. We would actually take a family Christmas photo every single year going up the stairs, and every year we had a Christmas tree in this bay window. After my mom sold the house, we bought it back, and now we live here and we celebrate Christmas in this same room where I've celebrated Christmas for all of these years. So I wanted to give you a brief tour of the room and give you some really fun decorating ideas. So right in front of me, let's start with this sleigh. I bought this sleigh at a yard sale, and I spray painted it white and filled it with ornaments. It's an easy way to add a little bit of color and add an easy centerpiece to your coffee table or even a dining room table. The moral of the story is that everything looks a little bit cuter when it is spray painted. So y'all, over here I have the mantle where I have hung up my Christmas stocking for all these years. This year we went with a bright and happy and merry mantle. There are the cutest deer with brightly colored antlers. I tucked ornaments on inside milk glass and on top of blocks, and then I added several mercury glass trees in brilliant color. Behind me I have the tree decorated in blue and white. We used blue and white colored ornaments. There are gold ornaments mixed in as well. Now, one super simple tip when you are decorating your tree, I just cut ribbons that were about 7 to 8 inches long and tucked them in the branches of the tree rather than taking a ribbon and winding it through the whole tree. It's a super simple tip if you wanted to, number one, save on ribbon, and number two, make adding ribbon to your tree a little bit easier. Another tip in here is I decorate with presents. So I wrap my presents and then I just tuck them around the room. I sit them on chairs. Here I have one on a pedestal. It's an easy way to add color to your space without purchasing additional Christmas decor. Lastly, in this room behind me, I have an alcove where I put together a creative way to celebrate the days counting down until Christmas. We have little tiny votives 1 through 24, and every single day we add another ornament to the top of a votive, counting down the days until Christmas. Okay, this is the dining room decorated for Christmas. I started with a flocked tree in this room, and we went bright and colorful. Y'all, there are the cutest ornaments that are plastic, and they are filled with glitter. They are really big, and we tuck them all in the tree. There's also polka dotted ornaments, brightly colored ornaments, and some very, very special ornaments that our family has collected over the years. Also, too, the centerpiece, super, super simple. I found these amazing candles on Amazon that turn on with a remote. They fit perfectly into a set of brass candlesticks that I already had. Then I tucked ornaments. Are you noticing a theme here? Tucking ornaments is one of my specialties. I've tucked ornaments all through the different containers and added a little bit of greenery and then some fresh flowers. On the side, we have the hutch and the sideboard over here that just has a simple advent calendar, another basket of ornaments, and this amazing wreath made completely out of ornaments. I love the way that the mirror reflects the tree and combines with the wreath to just create a Christmas glow in the space. And now we're in the Christmas kitchen. So y'all, I started the decorations in this space by filling this basket right here with trees of all different shapes and sizes. I used these fun bottle brush trees in a couple of different sizes. I also added this paper tree, a tree that's made completely out of paper, an easy DIY, but just a fun way to add texture to any tree display. And lastly, in this space, I added a vintage truck. I found it downtown at one of our local antique malls. It is the perfect amount of vintage, and I put another fun tree in the back of the truck. Over here, there's a vintage chalkboard made out of a vintage pool cue. We put a chalkboard in the back, and then there's an entire Christmas tree grower sign that I love. I've added fun signs everywhere. There's layers of stockings by the hutch. The hutch is completely filled with houses of different sizes and a nativity set that my mother made for me and gave me all those years ago for one of my very first Christmases after I got married. An easy idea for decorating is to fill cloches with just special things. So behind me, I have a vintage paper tree under a cloche. I have a tiny little house under a cloche, and I have the cutest salt dough ornaments that I found at just a local craft fair. The kitchen leads into the family room. The family room has another tree. There's also an incredible mantle that we have added candles on timers to. There are the cutest little tiny trees that are in a vintage wooden box that all of the trees lead up into the day before Christmas. So they're just so cute. 1 through 24 are all on the little drawers that you pull out in the vintage piece. Another easy idea for decorating a Christmas living room is to fill a dough bowl. Y'all, I just took a dough bowl, a standard size dough bowl, and I filled it with ornaments and the cutest rusty jingle bells. Super simple, but yet gives it so much personality. Just off of the kitchen is our laundry room that kind of doubles as a laundry room, butler's pantry. I went with happy colors, red, white, green. They're tiny little packages tucked into my milk glass collection. There's the cutest little camper, just vintage camper that's on one of the shelves in there. There's a mug rack with Santa mugs. Everything is ready for hot chocolate, and the cutest little trio of 3 trees, vintage trees that I found downtown that are on top of little vintage blocks. Y'all, this is our downstairs bathroom all decorated for Christmas. Just a few decorating tips in here. I decorated this mirror behind me with different types of greenery. Now, total aside, fun fact, this mirror I stood in front of, number 1, on my first date before I went out with my husband, and secondly, I stood in this exact bathroom in front of that mirror on my wedding day. So it has a lot of meaning for me. I love to decorate it every Christmas with different types of greenery. So I've added a magnolia garland along with evergreen, a little bit of cedar. That's the key to really making your pieces that you're swagging with garland feel a little more purposeful and mindful, is to layer in different types of greenery. Also in this space, you'll notice that I have the cutest little house that lights up. It's actually a candle warmer. It scents the entire room. To really make your home feel cozy and extra Christmassy, it's a good idea to add tiny little light sources throughout your different rooms. Remember how we talked about candles in the other room? In this particular room, I've added this candle warmer that lights up at night and makes the bathroom feel extra cozy. One last tip, when you're decorating for Christmas, don't overlook your windowsills. Y'all, it's the best place to just add a little bit of Christmas decor to a room without going over the top. For example, in this bathroom, right behind those shutters, I layered in an entire line of tiny little Christmas trees. That way, when you open up the shutters, there's a Christmas surprise just waiting for you. And lastly, I wanted to show y'all the heart of our home, this staircase entryway. Y'all, right behind me on those stairs, that's where I waited for Santa Claus. This is where I took the pictures with my family, and now I take them with my children on this staircase as well. We have this incredible dresser that came from my husband's family that has been painted and distressed. It's the perfect space to add in a layer of books, some Christmas trees, and an advent calendar. Over here we have a vintage balloon mold combined with a trio of reindeer and some Christmas greenery. This hutch right here I found at a thrift store for under $75. It has paper trees on the top of it, layered in with the most beautiful Christmas greenery. I hope that you have enjoyed this house tour. It has been so much fun having you along. And always remember, y'all, the true meaning of the season. And remember that spending time with family and friends and celebrating the reason for the season is what makes Christmas so special. Merry Christmas.